Hello everyone and welcome. How are you all on this quite brisk Tuesday night here in Melbourne? It's been an odd sort of day, a bit wet. In fact, actually really wet this afternoon. It pelted down and cold. Oh my gosh, it was so cold. I actually went and put the ducted heating on at 3 o'clock, and that's really unusual because we have the fire going all the time. But I was just chilled to the bone. I couldn't get warm this afternoon, so on went the ducted heating. That's okay because the washing's over the vent, so it'll dry faster anyway, won't it? How are you all? Did you all have a lovely weekend? It was a pretty quiet weekend, wasn't it, Floss? Yeah, I didn't do much. Saturday I don't work, so I actually think I read most of Saturday, and Sunday we just putted around and did a few things here. Wayne and I went out for a little while. It was a pretty easy, casual sort of weekend. No great dramas. Hannah went out, went to a birthday party. The boys were sick. They had colds. Nothing worse than 20-something males with colds. They think they're dying, but anyway, they're over them now. Yeah, that was pretty much it. It was pretty easy. Breezy sort of casual weekend. Nice. It's nice to have easy times. We've had such a hectic time in the last 8 to 10 weeks. It's just been go non-stop, so having some time to just read, actually pick up a book and sit and read was really nice. So I had something I wanted to tell you. Cannot think what it was. Can you remember? No, because I thought of it just before. It'll come to me, don't worry about it. That's what happens when you have time off, your brain goes to mush. So hello everyone. Who have we got with us tonight? Yvonne, Freya, Barb, Carol, Diana, Michelle, Priya, Suzanne, Kerry, Patricia, Julie, Leonie, Karen T, Maureen, Alicia, Margarita, Kerry, Rhiannon, Lynette. Wow, thank you so much for giving up your time to listen to me waffle on about lazy people and budgets. Not really. I don't think you are lazy. I don't think anyone is lazy. It just sometimes when it comes to budgeting, it becomes a bit overwhelming, and so we get a bit slack with it. But that's okay. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to overcome the hang-ups that we might all have with budgets. That B word can be scary at times. Thank you, sweet pea. Oh, she just made me a cup of tea. Isn't that lovely? Thank you. Can be really scary, but there's nothing scary about it. It's just a piece of paper or a spreadsheet or an app on your phone, if that's the way you are. I'm technologically challenged, as you've all found out over the last few weeks, and things have gone wrong on this show. So I'm a pen and paper and a spreadsheet type of person when it comes to budgeting. I like to have a book. I like to write it down. I like to be able to see it in front of me. I like to control it because really I'm the boss of my money. My money's not the boss of me, and you should be the boss of your money because your money's not the boss of you. Anywho, look, budgets are a necessary evil. We all have to have them, and I've had quite a few emails lately from people who said they've heard about no budgeting. There's a no budgeting program where you don't need to budget. You can just do it, and it just automatically happens, and your bills get paid and your savings grow and your emergency fund builds up nicely. And I had a bit of a think about it, and I went, yeah, no, because we all know that if you don't track your money in some way, shape or form, it all just goes belly up, and you end up with bills that are forgotten to be paid, savings that get spent instead of saved, emergency funds that are used for other things. It doesn't, there's always the fear of going to the shop and using the card and being told, oh, sorry, but there's an issue with it, you've got cash or something. That you need to budget. You just do. Whether you call it budgeting or programming your money or whatever, it's still a budget. And so that had me thinking again, the psychological effect that the word budget has on us. Because for a lot of people, it's a terrifying thing. It may be that they aren't very good with math. It could be that they have an irregular income and that just completely overwhelms them. It could be that they grew up in a household that had a lot of money worries, and so the budget was always a strong influence over everything that was spent. Or they grew up in a household that was the complete opposite, with no money worries, and so it was never mentioned. If it was sort of the I see it, I want it, I'll get it type of mentality in that household. It could be that they never had a mentor or someone to show them how to live on a budget, how to plan their spending, because that's what a budget is. It's just a spending plan. It's a way for you to plan how you are going to use your money to best suit you. Your spending plan won't suit me, and mine won't suit you, because we live different lifestyles, we have different incomes, we have different expenses, we have different expectations. So it's a spending plan that is tailor-made to each individual, and we get to do that. We get to choose our spending plan. We design it, we plan it, we use it, and we reap the benefits of it. So if the B word scares you, call it a spending plan. It's amazing. That psychological little switch will go boom, and you won't be afraid anymore. So feel free to call it a spending plan if that's what you need to do. I don't think that anyone, certainly none of you, are lazy budgeters. I know I'm not. I actually like budgeting. I like the plotting and the planning and the working out and the calculating, and it puts a smile on my face. But, perhaps changing your attitude, just a little attitude adjustment. We all need them every now and then for various things, but an attitude adjustment so that we take control of the money and the money doesn't control us can change your whole outlook and your whole, the end game, the whole end game when it comes to your finances. Your whole financial life will change with a little attitude adjustment. It won't be easy. It's simple, but it won't be easy. If you've got a lot of things to pay for, a lot of debt, you work really hard, you're looking after a home and a family and pets and a garden and neighbours' dogs while they're on holidays, or the school mice during school holidays, whatever. Everyone's busy, and so it can seem overwhelming, but don't let it get on top of you. And you don't need to knock out your budget in one session, because that's going to make it really hard, really, really hard. So the lazy way to budget, or the easy way to budget, is to make it simple. And that is, start off small with your main category. So you'll have income, because you need to know how much money is coming in so that you know how much you can spend. And then the main categories will be your accommodation, so rental, mortgage, and gas, electricity, water, phone, internet, insurances, car registration, petrol. What else might there be? If you have regular pharmacy bills, then pharmacy, childcare or school fees, or both. All those big things. You can cut out the little little categories later on, and the little categories are the things that are discretionary. So things like groceries, and yeah, that is a discretionary category. It's not essential. You need a certain amount to spend on food, but you don't need a lot. So, your grocery budget is mostly discretionary spending. Then there go things like entertainment, holidays, gifts, Christmas, Easter, whatever. They're all discretionary. They're not essentials. So if you want to simplify it, just list the essentials and start there. And hopefully your income will be more than your outgoings, in which case you will have some money to move towards those discretionary things if you want to. Or you could just splurge. It's entirely up to you. But if you splurge, then when it comes time for Christmas or haircuts or a holiday, it will be a bit harder because you won't have saved up for it. So, sorry guys, I'm checking the comments too. Hello, Meryl. Nice to see you. Hello, Pamela. Who else has joined us? Julian, Rod. Beautiful. Great. Okay. So, sorry, back to my notes, just so I don't lose track, and I've done it already. So, if you change your thinking from budget to spending plan, it's a nicer word, isn't it? Nicer sounding. Spending plan sounds so much nicer than budget. And, a spending plan is just a budget, only nicer. So we can do that. Often you'll see I interchange on the Cheapskates Club website. I switch between budget and spending plan. They're the same thing. Often in the same story or the same article, I'll have talk about budget, talk about the spending plan. They're the same thing. And I do that because some people react to budget, some people react to spending plan. Whichever one floats your boat, folks. If it works for you, then that's what you use. And you might find, if you think of it differently, that you're a little more enthusiastic. You're a little more, you're encouraged. You encourage yourself to be more faithful in the tracking, be more faithful in making sure that the money is there to pay the bills, so on and so forth. Second page, there's a few notes here. Now, as I said before, I'm a pen and paper type of person. I like to see those figures. I like to jot them down, tally them up, keep track of them. I really like that. Works for me. And I guess that sort of makes me a bit visual when it comes to my budget. But there are apps that can do it. If you're a phone person or an iPad person, then use your app. Find an app. And there are heaps of them. Lots of free ones. You do not have to pay for them. There are heaps of free ones. Find one that works for you. We have budget forms on the Cheapskates Club website. You can go to the tip sheets, and on the right-hand side, they will be listed down there for you, all different sorts of budgets. And there's a whole lot of them. They're all different because, again, we do things differently. So while the end result for each one is the same, it's income versus outgoings, they're just laid out differently because some people respond to a different layout. We're all different, and there's no right or wrong way to budget. And perhaps that's why they say no budget, but it's still a budget. Okay. To make it even simpler for you, and this is something that I struggled with. I really struggled with this for a while for a lot of reasons. Being afraid of technology was one of them, but setting up, once we worked out our budget, most of our bills are paid automatically, but I control it. So the gas, the electricity, the water, our insurances, the car registration, telephone and internet, all those regular expenses that we have that are budgeted for are paid automatically. And I set that up myself. Now, all your utility companies, your mortgage company, your bank, they will all offer to set up direct debits for you. And if you're happy for them to do that, by all means do it. I don't like anyone having access to my bank accounts but me. So I set up my own. And that's really easy to do because all your bills will have on them a payment option at the bottom, and it'll give you how to, post bill pay, BPay, whatever. I use the BPay option. I set it up myself. I go into my online banking. I've set it up so that pretty much I know the account's there, the bill comes in, I just go in and go, and it's paid. I've set all those accounts up so there's water, electricity, gas, telephone, internet, car insurance, house insurance, what else have I got set up on automatic? The car registrations, all those things are already set up. The BPay accounts are all there for them. And when I need to make a payment, that's what I do. I just go in and go click, 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 type in the amount, hit send, and it's done. I do it. So the money's in the account already because we've budgeted for it. It's gone into the bill account so that we know when the bill comes in, the money is there. All I have to do is zip in quickly to my online banking, choose which account it is, type in the reference and the amount, and it's done. I control that. I could let all of those people direct debit my bank account. I don't like doing that. And I know, look, for the most part, it's perfectly safe. But we all hear horror stories. And after having a close family member lose lots of money, as in tens of thousands of dollars, through a fraudulent transaction, I'm just not prepared to do it. So, what did you say for?
Can't remember.
She can't remember. Okay. Yes, Yvonne's going to Adelaide tomorrow. It'd be nice for you. But yes, it is supposed to be shocking weather.
We get it in the afternoon.
We get it in the afternoon, yeah.
It's miserable week.
Yep, then we've got a whole week.
10 on Saturday.
10 degrees on Saturday. Oh my goodness, might be a bed day.
I go get up.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so you can set up your payments however, look, do them however you like. I struggled with the online payments because, again, I struggle with technology. My mother, bless her, would get the bill. If the bill came in today's post, it was paid at the post office tomorrow, and the receipt was stapled to it and it was put into a file. That's what she did. It worked for her. And in fact, when we were cleaning out Grandma's house when she was moving into the nursing home, we found years and years and years of bills, all in date order, all neatly supplied. The gas, the water, the electricity, the council rates, the house insurance, they were all there. So it worked for her. If that's what works for you, do it that way. Now, sorry, I can't need new glasses too. You think I'll go and get some, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing that will help you with your lazy budgeting is moving to a cash budget for your everyday expenses. Now, we touched on this briefly when we did the budget purse video, where you go to the bank once a month or once a fortnight, or if you get paid weekly, go once a week, and you withdraw your grocery money, your petrol money, your bus fares, your lunch money, or whatever you need for the week, cash you need for the week, and then you just do one transaction and stay away from the bank. That works too. And if you want to do that and you use money purses or envelopes or Ziploc bags or tins or whatever for that money, that will work as well. And that's another simple way that the lazy person can budget easily without worrying. Now, all you have to do is when you do your groceries, open your grocery purse, take out the money, put the receipt in to the purse. And then when you go to top it up again, next pay cycle, you've got the receipt there, just whip it out. And if you're tracking your spending, it's there easy for you to write down in your notebook the grocery receipts and the totals so that you will know what you spend on groceries or petrol or haircuts or whatever else is there.
Leah asked, what about pets? Insurance or save your own money and put it away? Her cut just cost her $200 at the vet and she currently doesn't have anything set up for it.
Leah, pets, if your pet should be a part of your spending plan because you obviously cover food in your grocery bill, but things like worm tablets, the vaccinations they get each year, the annual trip to the vet for their checkup and things like that should all be in your spending plan. Now, whether you do that via pet insurance or you choose to just set an amount and create your own insurance in a category for your pet is up to you. I'm not exactly sure how pet insurance works. I've heard good things and I've heard horror stories of people that have paid it and then still had to fork out thousands. So I think pet insurance could be a bit like health insurance in Australia and a tad bit of a rip-off perhaps. I haven't really looked into it, but I would work out how much it is each month, find out exactly what the benefits are, what the benefits that will be paid to you in cold hard cash or paid to the vet in cold hard cash are, and what your out of pockets will be, and then decide, because sometimes you can work out a payment plan with a vet, or you can even, I've got cash, can you do this operation? If it's $2,000, can you do it for $1,800 if I pay cash? Dentists will work like that. They're going to hate me saying this, but dentists will work like that. Orthodontists will work like that. If you have cash, cash is king. You've got cash, you have bargaining power, more so than even using a debit card. Cold hard cash is bargaining power. So it might work to look like that for your pets, but honestly, when our poor Gus died, we haven't had a cat or a pet since we lost Gus. And so I sort of got out of touch with the reality of the cost. But I know he used to cost us a fortune just in worm tablets. And sorry, Flossie, because I had a routine down flat. The cats got wormed every 3 months and the kids got wormed every 3 months. Whether they needed it or not, I just had a horror of worms in our pets or my children. So it was, worming cost a small fortune. I know they did. And then his flu vaccine each year would cost a fortune too. It was really expensive. So, while we miss Gus, I sort of don't miss those expenses. I do miss Gus. Anyway.
That's why we get Bruce.
No, we're not getting Bruce. Okay. And Lynn gets money out of the bank once a month. Have a general budget. Yeah, perfect. That's what we sort of do too. Okay, now. Okay, gas, electricity, water and rates, school fees, funeral insurance are all done through Centre Pay. Cool. Do whatever works for you. Fine, and that's the easy way to do it. And, why not? Make it as easy for yourself as possible. If it's easy, you're going to keep doing it. If it's too hard, you're going to go and no, and you just won't do it. You'll just give up, or it'll be hit and miss. It'll end up in a big mess and you'll find it even more overwhelming. Make your budgeting, your spending plan as easy as possible for you. If Centre Pay works for you, go right ahead and use it. Yeah. 30-litre water bottle. My money box. I put everything left over at the end of the fortnight into this. Shows each page, which is the budget allows. Cool.
Like me.
Hannah does that.
I don't have a 30-litre water.
She has a big tin.
It's full again.
It's full again. She does that. I used to have a pink box. Yeah, I've got my pink pig that sits on my desk, and I have my dollar sign, silver dollar sign that sits on my desk, and I have a little black. Well, we sound quite weird, don't we? With all these things that we've got for money, a little black box that's actually our petrol fund. So all the change that comes out of Wayne's pocket each night, he puts up on top of the chest of drawers. In the morning, I scoop it up and I put it into the petrol box, the petrol money box, and we use that to help pay the cost of our fuel when we go away. And then I've got my pink pig that I use for my 50-cent pieces, because I always save 50-cent pieces, and then my silver dollar just gets the silver, so the 20s, the 10s and the 5s go in there, and when they're full I take them to the bank. I use the pink pig to pay for holiday treats. On one of our trips it paid for, one of our Cape York trips, we had enough out of the pink pig to pay for our day trip to Thursday Island. I think there's something good we did with it. So while the money's come out of our bank, we haven't wasted it. Because I always say, when people talk about saving money, I always say it's not saved until it's in the bank. Until then, it's just not spent. So if you've bought something that's normally $50 and you only paid $40, you didn't save $10. You just didn't spend that $10. Until you move it into your savings or your emergency fund, it's just not spent. It's not actually saved. So Yvonne has glass jars. Someone's using the Coke can thing at the moment. Or that might be Wendy.
I have a Powerade bottle full of $5 notes.
Hannah has a Powerade bottle full of $5 notes. Probably cost you $5 for the Powerade, did it?
No, it was $1.60 from NQR.
Oh, okay.
Didn't even drink it.
Yeah, sorry. Now, Diana doesn't have pet insurance anymore. Choice Magazine has said it isn't worth it. Yeah. Yeah, so pet insurance, I sort of think, is one of those fad things that sucks us all in because we think, oh, yes, it costs so much. But really do your homework. If you're thinking of pet insurance, really do your homework. Check out a few different policies. Check the rates and make sure you know exactly what you're getting. Read the fine print. Read the fine print.
Insurance.
An old encyclopedia. Alicia uses an old encyclopedia.
Is it hollow? Oh.
For birthday presents. Well, that's cool. That's a nice way to save up money.
In the note,
that's really good. How do you do it? Hannah wants to know how you do it, Alicia. Is the book hollowed out, or do you just slide the money between the pages? She wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Where's that big one of Dad's?
No, you're not chopping up the...
No, if it's in the pages.
The dictionary.
I'll forget it's there.
Yeah. Then it'll get lost. Okay, so... Right, now... However you budget, you've got your banking to do, your bill paying, it's direct deposit, ATMs. They're all tools you can use to make it easier for you. And so you can be lazy if you want to. You can be a lazy budgeter, a successful lazy budgeter. You're going to turn that lazy budgeter around and be successful by sensible banking, sensible bill paying, or setting up automatic bill paying, direct deposits, direct debits, and even direct deposits if you want to. Your ATMs, using EFTPOS at the supermarket to withdraw your cash instead of going to an ATM. I know we have trouble finding, and I have trouble finding an ATM for my bank, which means I have to pay, and I hate paying. So if I can withdraw my cash at the supermarket, then I will happily do that. It doesn't cost me anything to do that. So making your budgeting as easy as possible for you might make it seem lazy, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be workable. You're going to stick to it. And if you can do that, then over time, it becomes a habit. And you won't even be thinking about it. It will just happen on autopilot. That come payday, you'll go bidding, 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 hit a few buttons, transfer a bit of money, withdraw some cash, job done. It's really easy. And Bob might be their uncle. And it will be, it's freeing to not have to worry about the money and how to organise it. So a couple of things to remember. Budgets don't need to be complicated, and they don't need to, your initial budget doesn't need to be down to the nth degree. You can work up to it. Just do your basic budget for the time being. If you haven't started yet, a basic budget, incomings, outgoings, lump them in categories. So, you know, utilities, accommodation, insurances, whatever, school, can all be one. Just lump them in categories. You can break them down later on. Once you've got them set up, I forgot what I was going to say. It's gone right out of my head again. Oh no. Once you've got it set up, remember, this is what it is. Remember that it's meant to change. It's not set in cement. Your budget is a fluid thing. It will change as your lifestyle changes, as your income changes, as your needs change, as your wants change. Your budget will change too. It won't always be the same. It won't be set in cement, because you might find that your accommodation costs go down. Wouldn't it be nice if we found the electricity costs had gone down, or gas costs have gone down, or phone had gone down, or they might go up, in which case you've got to make some adjustments. So it's a fluid thing. It's a living almost, because that is your plan, that is your spending plan. So it works according to how you want it to work. So you will need to go over it, not all the time. Review it once at the start of every season. So spring, summer, autumn, winter, have a quick look over it. Make sure it's still working for you. If something needs to be adjusted, adjust it. Make the changes and keep it up to date. And that's lazy budgeting. It's simple and it's effective. It works. It works. Trust me, it works. I wasn't always, and my budget wasn't always as detailed as it is now. It used to just be like mortgage, electricity, water, gas, telephone, car, school fees, insurances. I had 8 categories in my budget. Now I've got heaps because I break it down to holidays, and my holidays are broken down into, you know, weekends, big trips, November trip, because we do a trip each November. Then there's Christmas, and it's broken down into gifts, cards, wrapping, food. So you don't need to be that detailed right now. That will come later. I have to be honest, it took me a while to get there. You don't start out being like that unless you're automatically an accountant-y type person that likes all those little bookkeeper-y type person that likes all those little fine details, and go for it. But most of us need to keep to something simple, so keep it basic. Find your main categories, your income, your outgoings, make sure they balance, and then work it for a few months, see how it goes. Remember, it's fluid, it's going to change, it's supposed to change. That's the thing, it is supposed to change. If your budget isn't changing, there could be a problem. You need to have a look at it. You need to make sure that you're not missing out on something, or you're not missing paying something. Otherwise, it's easy, and that's how you can be a lazy budgeter, but a successful lazy budgeter. Kerry, it will depend. Kerry wants to know a cheaper NBN. It will depend on your area. You need to go to the website, type in your postcode, your suburb, your town, whatever, and postcode. It will give you a list of suppliers. Compare them and see. Choose one. Telstra will never be the cheapest, which blows my mind because all the others buy off Telstra. So why Telstra has to be the most expensive, I don't know. Telstra will never be the cheapest. So hunt around. It will pay to shop. We're doing the same thing. We've got to switch over by the end of this month. Ooh. Yeah, and I'm seriously thinking ditching it altogether. It's hardly worth it. Yeah, see, Jules, her throw on Jules has said her pet insurance has gone up with $39.91 in June to $51.13 in July. So that's a lot of money each year that you could be moving into a pet account that would more than cover worm tablets and vaccinations, and whatever's left will build up so that if there is a need for a surgery or whatever, it will mostly probably be there. Yeah. Yes, Yvonne, I used to go to the bank and with a list, and I knew I needed so many 20s, so many 10s, so many 5s, so many 2s, so many 1s, so many 50s, so many 20s, so many 10s, even down to 5-cent pieces. And I would ask them to, and I would go home and I would put the exact amounts in my envelope or envelopes that I needed each month. Kerry, did you order the NBN box from Telstra? Send it back. I'd be asking about that. Oh, Margarita, I didn't do you've done the hard work though. I'm glad your budget is working for you. It's supposed to. See, you're in control of the money. The money is not in control of you. So much better. So much better. It's so nice to not be scared. I think a lot of people are scared. They're scared of the budgeting. They're scared of the bills. They're scared of the saving. So I'm often left quite speechless at the number of people that will say to me, they're actually scared to save. They don't know how to save and they're scared to start. Because what if? Well, what if the fridge does die if you've got money saved up? What's the problem? You just start saving, you use that and just start saving again. You don't have to go on what is it, Afterpay or Zip Pay or whatever. You don't have to put it on credit. You've got money saved up to use to replace your fridge. Then just start saving again. You shouldn't be afraid of it. It's there to benefit you, and so it's not scary at all. And unless it's your emergency fund, savings are meant to be spent. So you usually are saving for a reason, for a goal. So you will have savings in your general budget to pay the household bills. You will have savings for a holiday perhaps that will cover your holidays. You will have savings for a new house. You're saving up for a new house. That's what that money is meant to be used. It's not meant to just sit in the bank and cost you money because there's nobody paying interest these days. But you need to use it, so don't be afraid of it. It's there to be done. The only savings you shouldn't spend is your emergency fund, because it is there to cover those emergencies, that time when you don't have an income, when the bills are going to keep coming in, you still have to eat, you still have to drive, you still have to send the kids to school or music lessons or whatever. That's what your emergency fund's for. So you don't spend it unless it's that sort of emergency. Otherwise, savings are meant to be saved up and then used. So you use them for whatever you need to use them for. And be grateful that you were wise enough to save up in the first place. Because otherwise you just get deeper and deeper in debt, and that hole just gets deeper and deeper, and it's harder and harder to get out of it. Now, I heard some interesting, quite sad statistics on the radio this morning on ABC 774 here in Melbourne. And I was in the car, so I was sort of half listening, and then I perked up. In the last 12 months, the number of Australians seeking aid from financial counsellors has jumped 40%. 40%. In the last 12 months, the number of Australians defaulting on their mortgages has increased by 30%. That's huge. House prices have tumbled. I know Western Australia has been very badly affected by the drop in housing prices. A lot of people bought during the boom over there, paid a premium, and now their houses aren't even worth what they paid for them, let alone what they owe on them. So there's a lot of mortgage angst in Western Australia. But I thought, for those people that have defaulted on their mortgage, for the ones, well done to the people that are seeking financial counselling to try and understand how they can work their way out of their debt. Their lives must be miserable. We are set. We're right. It took us a long time to get there, and we worked hard to do it. And every week when I see you guys come on here, I feel so encouraged that you are all on the right track too. That you will know that if disaster strikes you, you'll have a plan and a way to get out of it. So I think while we can always always improve, that come out right, we should still be proud of our accomplishments. You should be proud of what you have accomplished so far, even if it's just in the 6.5 months of 2019. Be proud of what you've achieved so far this year. And perhaps now, because we're halfway through the year, it's time to sit down and have a little think about where you are. If you had goals for the beginning of the year, where you are with those goals. Are you on track? Do you need to set some new goals? And
do you need to treat yourself?
Do you need to treat yourself? Have you accomplished some goals? I know some of you have. I know someone's going on an overseas trip. Someone else has paid off, made their final payment on their last credit card debt. Mm-hmm. So, well done. Our economy isn't great, and I've been saying that for a long time now, and I've been held down. I've been held down on national radio and told I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, sorry folks, our economy is not great. But as cheapskates, we can recognise that, and we know that we have to stop spending and start saving and paying down debt, and that will set us up. And when I say stop spending, I don't mean stop spending. I mean stop spending on the non-essentials. We'll still need to spend on the essentials. So, you can still buy food, and you can still have petrol in your car, and you can still do, the essentials, but stop spending on the non-essentials and get your debt cleared. And once you've done that, then you've got that cash to spend on some non-essentials if you want to, or to build up your savings to make your life a little more secure, because that's what we all need, security, financial security. So we're going to get that by careful budgeting, not spending when we don't need to, building up our savings, paying down our debt. And hopefully none of us will ever find ourselves in the situation of, you know, having to be amongst the 30% that have gone into mortgage arrears, or, you know, something like that. We'll be able to get our way out of it because we're using our heads and thinking about it, and we're taking control of our money. We're not letting our money take control of us. Sorry to put a downer on the end of the show. That was a bit cruel, wasn't it? Gosh, I don't mean to be. But it was just something that occurred to me this morning, that we really we shouldn't be in this position. We are a reasonably wealthy country, and yes, wages haven't increased a lot, if at all, in the last few years, but we're still a reasonably wealthy country. But for a lot of people, they don't understand the concept of what comes in has to be more than what goes out. They've never learnt to say, no, I can't afford it, or no, I don't want it, no, I don't need it. So we've all learned that, and so we're reaping the benefits. Anyway, so Barb's doing a no spending month for the last week of July and first 3 weeks of August. Way to go, Barb. Yvonne's doing a pantry. Oh, use it up. Yes. Cool. Lorraine does monthly shopping. Oh, don't you just love monthly shopping? So good. You go once, get it home, put it away, that's it. And it honestly does not take that much longer to shop for a month than it does for a week. Probably an extra 10 minutes in the supermarket maybe, and 20 minutes at home to put it all away. It's a breeze. I love monthly shopping. Jules has helped a co-worker who wasn't coping. Yeah, Yvonne, yeah, okay. No, I won't get political. We shouldn't be spending our tax cuts. I don't think that's the way to help the economy. Sorry. If we all spent just the way we normally spend, and we all saved and paid down our debt, our banks would be cashed up, our economy would be stable. Our banks would be cashed up. Cashed up banks are a really good thing to have, because then they don't need to borrow overseas. They can be lending, which is an even better way for them to be lenders instead of borrowers. Anyway, so guys, and it's just bought a sealed money tin. Yes, on $2 coins in it. Wow, good goal, Annette. Lorraine's doing a challenge. Okay, sorry, I'm going backwards here. Oh, Yvonne's managed to buy 2 new tyres. Good, really good. Okay. Right. Aussie broadband, yeah. For your broadband for the NBN, you just need to.
Yeah. Come back to me.
You just need to do research, because the suppliers will vary from suburb to suburb. Ask your neighbours. See who your neighbours are with, and if they're happy with them. If they're happy with the service, they're happy with the price, they're happy with the speeds. I sort of think NBN's going back to the dark ages, but anyway, that's just me. Now, I'm back to you.
Maureen was asked today the difference between a peace of mind account and an emergency account. Can you please explain?
Okay, your emergency fund is the fund that you set up where you start saving so that you are going to have 3, 6, 12 months worth of living expenses, so that if you ever suffer a job loss, you'll be able to survive until you find another job. The statistics are really bad. The older you get, the longer it takes to, on average, to find a job. It was, I think, if you were aged between 50 and 55, it was taking on average 72 weeks to find a full-time job. Not necessarily a job in your field, just a full-time job. That's a long time. 72 weeks, that's nearly 18 months. So you need to be able to live for all that time without a regular income coming in. A peace of mind account is the account you set up if you know you are going to have those regular but irregular expenses. So the dentist might have said to you that in 2 years, little Johnny's going to need braces and it's going to cost $8,000. So even if you have extras cover on your health insurance and dental cover and whatever else, you will still be out of pocket. So your peace of mind account will be where you set up to make regular savings into that account over the 2 years, so that when it comes time for those braces, you will have the cash. What you will then be able to do is say to the orthodontist, if I pay cash, how much discount do I get? And you should get something. You should get something. Negotiate, haggle, folks. Don't be afraid. And if he says no, find another orthodontist. And don't just take one, get a couple of opinions too, because like with all things, there's good and there's bad, and there's those that do the necessary work and those that do necessary with a bit on top. So shop around. That sounds really mean, dragging little Johnny around and to open his mouth, but find out. Get a an itemized statement so that you know exactly what you're paying for too. But that's the difference. So your emergency fund is the fund that you build up so that you have money to live on when you have no income. And your peace of mind account is the accounts, and they can be different ones. They can be for different things. It could be that you are planning to put a new roof on the house in 5 years. So you will start saving into the roofing fund, the roofing account. So when that bill comes due, you've got the money to pay for it. You don't have to stress about finding the money in the household maintenance account because it may not be there. Does that make sense? I've written, if you go to the Member Centre and type in peace of mind or emergency fund, I've written quite a bit about them at different times. So hopefully that explains it.
Okay. 301 Jules would like to know, do you include a section in the budget for things like car batteries that usually lasts 3 years? Does that come under car? That
comes under car maintenance, Jules. So in our budget, we have car maintenance. Now, under car maintenance, it's things like the battery, it's the services, it's the tyres, it's the windscreen wiper blades. Holy gosh, are they expensive for what they are. I mean, they're just little strips of rubber. Things like that all come in our budget under car maintenance. So yes, I sort of calculate that a new battery is around 200, was it?
Yeah.
$200. And yeah, so we need to budget around $65 a year. So it's $1.15 a week into the car budget. Same with tyres, because Wayne usually rotates the tyres on my car. So every 2 years I get new front tyres and they go on the back, and then So, and it's around $400 for tyres. So that sort of gets, it's $4 a week goes into the budget for tyres, that sort of thing. Yeah. I also include oil because he does our own services too. So oil and grease and all that sort of stuff all goes under the car maintenance category in our budget.
Vicky says that she's bought a Foodsaver and she's saving heaps of food that she used to waste.
Cool. I love my Foodsaver. So good. So good. Now, Aldi has them this tomorrow or Saturday. Anyway, Aldi has them either tomorrow or Saturday. A question came up on the chatter page about the bags. They are less than half the price of the Sunbeam bags. They're just as good as the Sunbeam bags. They should fit most machines. I know they fit the Sunbeam Foodsaver, and I think that's probably about the biggest one at the moment. So, but check your dimensions on the box. It will tell you how wide they are so that you will know whether they will fit your machine or not. But yeah, I know I prefer the rolls over the bags because I like to make the bags to suit what I'm storing. But if I have to use bags, and I have used bags, if I have to use them, I use them. They're fine. But they're excellent quality. They're BPA free. They are boilable, which works really well for when we're camping because I'll seal curries and stews and things and then just pop them into the boiling water in the bag. And then I can just slip the bag and dip them onto the plate. They work really well like that.
Barb had enough money left from last fortnight's pay for this fortnight's groceries, and she saved $50 into the Christmas fund and treated herself to a lunch out.
Way to go, Barb! Yay! Well done. Hope you had a nice lunch. That would be good. We haven't been out for lunch for ages.
Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah, your birthday's coming up. Oh, your birthday's coming up. Oh, my. Oh.
It is.
Faster than I thought. So that was, well done, Barb. Great.
This on Saturday, the vaccines.
Saturday. There you go, folks. Saturday for the vac sealers at Aldi. They were $79.99. Well, I love my vacuum sealer. I get excited about vacuum sealing the meat. I like to do it. It works really well. I bring the meat home from the butcher and I sort it all out and I portion it all out, put it in the bags, vacuum seal it, bung it in the freezer. It's so good. It's really good because I can take it out of the freezer, put the bag in the fridge. It's not going to leak in the fridge. I don't need to put it on a plate or a tray in the fridge to thaw. Like I said, when we're camping, I can drop them into the boiling water and they will heat whatever's in them for me. They're really good. The food doesn't get freezer burnt. It lasts longer in the fridge as well as in the freezer. Great for portioning. Now, when I buy mince, I buy usually 15 to 20 kilos at a time. So I portion it out. Now, I do actually get my scales out and weigh out the 500 grams that I use for each meal. So that's how pedantic I am about that. And so I have it on the scales, and I have my supply of bags, and it comes out, it goes into the bag, and I squash it flat as I possibly can, and I push the meat right out to the edges of the bag and into the corners, and then I vacuum seal them, and they come out in little tiny, they're probably maybe 15 mil high, flat, and they stack in my freezer, and I can get 30 of those in the one shelf in my freezer. So that's 30 meals of mince, and then they don't take very long to thaw, so I don't necessarily need to put them in the fridge overnight. I can pull them out at 4 o'clock and they're ready to go by 5. Easy as for things like that too. And the same with the chicken. Portion it out, put it in the bags, lay it flat. Sausages I lay out in a row and vacuum seal. They do make life easy.
Julia said Aldi have vanilla beans on sale, 4 grams for $3.99 each on Saturday. Is that a good price? They're $3.05 at Hindustan, but I don't know how much they weigh.
Well, vanilla beans don't usually go by weight. They usually go by, so it's just one vanilla bean for $4, which probably isn't too bad. It will, look, you know the old oils ain't oils? Well, vanilla beans ain't always vanilla beans, as in there are always vanilla beans, but there are different types of vanilla beans. A Madagascar vanilla bean is the really nice one, and so you will pay more for it. As Hannah said, they're $3.05 each from Hindustan, which is, again, not a bad price. I've seen them up to $20, up to $10 each in supermarkets. So $3.99 is probably not a bad price for a single vanilla bean. Yeah, now, if you're going to use them for making your vanilla extract in the vodka, then you need at least 3 or 4, so that can make it a bit expensive. But you can just keep, once you've done that, you just need to add a new one single bean each time you top up your bottle. And you can actually use those beans, you can take them out of the vodka after they've done their job and scrape the seeds out and use them in your cooking, so they won't go to waste. Or pop them into a jar of sugar to make vanilla sugar. Okay.
Any bargains this week, Mum?
Any bargains this week for Victorians or Melburnians anyway? In the eastern suburbs, Bayswater has the Food Factory Sales, which is the SPC outlet. Now they have 250ml bottles of balsamic vinegar and apple cider vinegar, and it's Sandhurst. So it's a reputable, well-known, good brand for $1 a bottle. Bargain basement price. So I will be stocking up, most assuredly, especially on the balsamics. We go through quite a bit of balsamic vinegar. NQR didn't have anything that I thought. They had lots of treats, school holiday junkie treat type stuff. No real food is what I called. Pellegrinos, if you're over this side of town, Pellegrinos have mandarins for 50 cents a kilo and oranges for 69 cents a kilo, which is a good price. It's not the best price, but it's not too bad. They also have bananas for $1.50 a kilo. Australian butcher store, so there's one in Baronia, there's one in Dandenong, and I think there's one out at Berwick. Have mince for $6.99 a kilo and chicken fillets for $6.99 a kilo, chicken breast fillets for $6.99 a kilo. That's a great price for the mince at the moment. It hasn't been cheaper than that for months, so that's a sort of stock up price. In fact, it's $1 cheaper than Costco was $7.99 a kilo, wasn't it? So that's the specials I can think of. I haven't seen any Coles or Woolies catalogues, so I don't know what's going on in there.
Lots of school snacks.
Lots of school snacks, yeah. So they tend to be expensive anyway.
I've got cukes for $3 a pack.
I've got
cukes for $3 a pack.
Baby cucumbers.
Yeah. They're usually $5.
Wow. Toothbrushes. Oh, Barb got toothbrushes for 80 cents. Cool. Oh, toothbrushes are so expensive. That was something NQR had. Toothbrushes, Colgate toothbrushes, $1 each. Excellent price, Barb. Vicky, $118 for a Foodsaver at Retrovision. Excellent price. What else? No? Alright. Barb's Fruit Band, $3 a punnet for blueberries. Yum. 250 gram punnet? No, I think they're around 100 grams, aren't they? Blueberries, they come slightly smaller. All right, Colgate toothbrushes. Barb got Colgate toothbrushes for 80 cents at chemist. You go check your chemists. Jump online, check their online catalogs and see. Because, yeah, 80 cents. Because the Colgate toothbrushes were $1 each at NQR, so that's a great price.
125 grams for blueberries.
125 grams for blueberries, yeah. Okay. Fresh blueberries are nice, though. Very nice and yogurt. Okay, guys. So we're all going to be lazy budgeters, successful lazy budgeters from now on. Happy, successful lazy budgeters from now on. That's a real mouthful to try and say. So, Chempro Chemist. I don't think we have Chempro in Victoria.
Oh, no.
Anyway, all right. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button just down there and the little bell next to it so that you'll never miss a video, and a thumbs up would be really good. Really appreciate the thumbs up, and I shall see you all on Thursday in the kitchen. Hopefully. We'll be there. We'll be all done. Yeah. Coffee mixes. Yvonne says coffee mixes are cheaper.
Oh, yeah, $3.50, half price?
Half price. There you go. Or you could just jump into the recipe file and make your own.
No, got time for that.
Really easy. Make more. Okie dokie. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. I shall see you on Thursday night. Bye.